So let's talk about understanding your skin. We understand our bodies, but do we really pay attention to our skin? We have all these issues, but do we get to the bottom of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason I asked about the lotion that you use because I have noted, well, I have seen it advertised, but I never knew how. Is it good? Does it work?
Oh, the La Roche-Posay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was explaining to you. So you've seen people that say they had that steroid withdrawal.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I never had that because I understood what the steroid was doing. Once the steroid got to the topical layer, it starts to break it down to remove the eczema.
Okay.
Everything that I've ever went through removed the eczema. The ultraviolet light treatment burnt the skin.
Okay.
Removed it. The steroid, you wake up in the morning, the bed is full of flakes. So it's removing the skin. So now that I know that I'm being removed, I started to find something to build it back up.
Okay.
That's what the La Roche-Posay did. I had heard of ceramides before, and I knew what a keratin was, and I knew what collagen was, and I knew what they did for the body. I knew what the body did when it produced them. They were proteins. So they went into the skin, and basically, because we have melanin in our skin, which is another protein, those things go together, it makes a compound.
Okay.
So when you start to lack one or two of those things, it's a shift. So the ceramides, the synthetic ones in the La Roche-Posay, gave me back, simplistically, a version of what I was losing.
Okay.
So now the skin is healing. It's just not healing as the natural skin was, but I don't have those big craters in the rest of my body is not going through hell.
Okay.
Now, I don't just use regular Vaseline. I found that the healing ointment is a petroleum base, which it looks just like Vaseline, but Aquaphor puts some things in it that helps heal the skin at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm getting a number of things on the topical level. Now, being that I understand what eczema is, it's either an oxygen deficiency or some people just have a dry skin issue and it brings out a rash, and they gave it this rash formation, eczema. Now, when you have it as an oxygen, that's where I got it from, as a side effect of my asthma medicine. I get it, which means if I didn't work on my breathing and all of that, going forward, I would have had it forever.
Okay.
Because I would consistently need the pump. Well, I started working on my training at the gym, more stamina training. I started drinking more water. I started being more aware, when my heart started beating real fast from anxiety and stuff, I would stop and take a deep breath. Because all of that goes through the respiratory aspect. Now, this is where I blame Janelle, my mom. When I kept telling her I wanted to do hair, she kept saying, you should be a respiratory therapist.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want to be no goddamn respiratory therapist. But she kept saying, you should be a respiratory therapist. You got it in your system to, you got asthma or whatever, you could help people. So I started to do some research because she was one of them out. She came home with a vanilla folder and some work. This is before you had an iPad.
Right.
You got a vanilla folder with these white pieces of paper in there. She's like, here, read what a respiratory therapist do. So here I am at the age of 14 years old, reading how to be a breathing nurse. And you start to remember that stuff when you get older, and you start hearing that, oh, your breathing plays a part in this. Okay, well, I started doing the breathing exercises. I started doing the mental health work.
Okay.
I started doing all those things. So then now my breathing was better. I can't tell you the last time I had an asthma pump. Okay. So now that I don't have an asthma pump no more, I'm drinking an excessive amount of water. I noticed one more thing, that collagen is produced by the fruits and the green of the earth. Naturally.
Okay.
Look at a cow. Look at a horse. Look at these strong ass monkeys. They don't eat meat at all.
Vegetables and
they eat grass.
Yeah.
They don't eat meat at all. And they produce the most potent, purest protein. Okay. So I started to do the same damn thing. I became a damn cow. And I started juicing, and but my juice tastes like grass. My juice don't taste good. My juice, it is not for the weak.
Y'all seen some of your videos where this guy was coming in and
That's my boy
so
Mari.
do you juice your own fruit?
He do it for me. See, Mari, let me tell you about Mari. Mari, this is nothing but God, I swear. Mari came in, he was like, I'm taking a class. And I was like, what kind of class? I'm taking a juicing class. I spent almost $1,000 on this class, and I'm going to this class, and this class is teaching me all the fundamentals. And every time he come in here, we just get goofy like big kids, like jackfruit, all papayas, pomegranate. What does it do? What does it say? And we from it, the way his juice. Now I've had many juices before. Mari juice, it may separate that water, be like that much, but when you drink it and my body filters it, I can feel it. I like, oh baby, yeah. But I'm telling you, it's not for the weak, but it works. It works. All of that sugar and all that stuff builds cancer. He put a little sweetener in there, like a lemon to balance it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, in the refresher, may put a little strawberries or something like that.
Okay.
But ultimately, you finna get the stuff. And that's what I like about it. And, baby, I'm telling you, this hand alone, oh, it would be in so much pain. Any and everything, even the wind outside would tear this thing up. Now,
yeah, I remember, like, you have eczema. My son, like, that was way back in the 80s. He had eczema real bad, where he was just scratching to his
well,
wall.
you can't help it.
But they didn't have all that they do now. They didn't have treatment like.
Well, I believe, because shit, I'm probably one of the test dummies that helped them come along with some of the shit. You hear me? Because we went through hell. We did, but I made it, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
So that's all that matters to
I
me.
know, like, you stress drinking water, staying hydrated. Water.
You good?
Water.
You better. You good? How you say that? How you think they say that shit don't crack? It don't crack because it's moist. Things that crack are dry.
So that cream that you use, do you advise somebody to use it that just has dry skin?
The Lord supposed to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something about this self-love stuff that I'm on. Once I figured out what it was to become healthy, to become one, to become me, to become a successful version of myself, I could not stop. It's these juices. It's Mari. It's the whole system. Look at this hand. Look at that pain. Bro, that shit hurts. Now look at this natural shine.